Coming to you live from the El Conquistador Olympics. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 33 of your favorite podcast and mine, Scooch Ovaries! Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries! Robin, you've come down at a very exciting time in the El Conquistador condominium lifestyle choices. Did you know? That was a lot.
I did. We were a little worried when we saw a bunch of flags being set up at your pool, but then we saw other flags and we stopped worrying.
Yes, the first flags were American flags, and we thought, uh-oh. And then, which is, both of us were very sad that we react that way when we see a lot of people gathered and flags come out. We get a little nervous.
Especially since that was our flag, like growing up. And now it sort of represents what it used to not represent. But
then we saw the Canadian flag go up and we got confused.
And then we saw the Olympics flag going up. And this one told me,
it's the senior Elcon something Olympic. I don't know. A bunch of old people playing games outside by the pool.
I think it's adorable. This one does not.
No, because the relationship with my neighbors is complicated.
That's true. They're not my neighbors. I just see a bunch of old people, and they were passing the torch, but it was like literally like one hand to the other, and some of them had like matching shirts, and I thought it was just adorable.
And some of the men took their shirts off like they're at the Villages or a nudie camp or something.
Or at a pool, which they were at.
Oh, they are at a pool. You can't take your shirt off. Yeah. I don't suggest it. Some of those men need support.
So if you hear any hooping and hollering, that's what it is, right outside there.
It is.
It's a bunch of people that look to be in their 70s and 80s doing Olympic-type sports. And
I don't know why it's happening, but they did it last year, too. I thought it was more like a card game situation, but they got cornhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I saw. Do you think they're doing laps in the pool?
I don't know. That's such a good question. Wouldn't that be funny if they were actually doing physical challenges? Like not cornhole and cards, but actual like laps?
If they were handing each other the torch, I don't think they're going to be doing real hard. Like usually you're supposed to run, like, I don't know, a couple miles and then hand the torch.
That's true. You are. That's what the celebrities do when they do the real Olympics. What's funny is I don't remember in our HOA or property manager board meetings, I don't remember a segment of the budget for defibrillators, but hopefully they have one over there because there's some questionable stuff. There's some atrial fib going on right now.
Yeah. So, but bless their heart. They seem like they're having fun. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny Florida day.
It is.
So, yeah,
it's fun.
More power to them.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing that's fun about the Scooch Ovaries podcast. We prepared for, I'm going to say 4 hours, Robin. We prepared and we got all the stuff. And then we sit down and I'm like, oh, they're doing the Olympics. We didn't talk about the fact that we were going to talk about the Olympics. We have a whole new segment situation going on.
Yeah, we discussed at very much length how we were going to be more organized and there was going to be segments.
Yes.
And we just it was like a toddler saying like, if I give you the cookie, you're not going to like mush it. If I give you the cookie, you're not going to mush it. Then we gave ourselves the cookie and we just squashed it.
How can you not, though, when you've got a show right outside my door?
Like 40 to 50, maybe, octogenarians and what's the 70s?
I think they're referred to as old farts. I think that's the technical term.
Some with shirts on, some with shirts off, but they're all in it to win it.
Yeah, and it's always nice with them when the landscaper shows up because it's not like we're recording something and we want the sound to be pristine.
But to be fair to the landscapers, they're just doing their job.
They are doing their job. And just another shout out to Robin for being flexible because at the seconds before we started, I said, take off the pop filter. Let's see what happens. So please
let us know if this sounds better, if it's better quality. Or
comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know if the sound quality is better, worse, the same, or who are you again, and why do I have to listen to this? Like any of those things, like what's happening, and because interestingly enough, we are now sharing clips on YouTube, and it's going right to our demo. It's the men in their 20s.
Yeah.
Why?
But you know what? To the men in their 20s, we got a lot of Riz. We're popping. I'm trying to think of the Gen Z lingo.
Riz.
Yeah.
I don't think poppin'.
No, I don't think
I don't
popping
think poppin'
is.
is. I think that's different.
Oh, gosh. Oh, say something to me that I'm going to agree with.
It's a beautiful sunny day.
Bet. That's a Gen Z word.
Bet?
Bet.
Oh, we're doomed.
Yeah. Instead of saying like, oh, I agree, bet.
I don't have it in me for another Rosetta Stone.
No.
I don't. I hope that they simplify it and break it down for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I would guess if we're going to the 20-year-olds, we're super relatable now.
We are. Also, the algorithm is just fucking us over again. In one of our new segments, we'll discuss this, but I question AI a little bit.
Okay, should we start off with the segment? And what's the name of the segment called?
Well, Robin, if we were going to go in order, why would we start now?
Sorry.
We have 4 segments for this show, folks. So welcome to Shows with Segments. We will probably get to 1 because it's us.
which will actually, for the last 30 episodes, make the very last segments that didn't make it as segments make sense, but we're not going to promise anything.
And we don't have to keep reiterating this, but we were planning to have segments, and that's why it would be funny at the end of every show to have segments that didn't make it as segments, because our theme was segments.
Mm-hmm. But then over here, we're just spitballing.
Well, welcome to episode 33. We've been doing this for 7 years, and no, we've been doing it for 7 months.
7, yeah. Because we started in July. So.
We did. I love July. So of the segments we're going to do today, we would like to touch on entertainment. And our entertainment segment is basically, it's called Distract Me. I'm going to help Robin, and Robin's going to help me when we're a little stressed out and worried about stuff in everyday life and global geopolitical issues and asteroids, which, hey, did you hear the asteroid's not coming? So here's the thing. Don't think about any of that.
So they say.
They don't know. Don't think about anything that's going on. Don't get triggered when you see a flag. Maybe it's old people playing cornhole. This segment's called Distract Me, and we are going to help each other by giving each other entertainment content that we can enjoy. And we're going to start out this week with me helping Robin to be distracted from an issue that Robin wants to be distracted from. Robin, what do you want to be distracted from today?
What do I want to be distracted from today? Really all the stuff when you turn on the news. Oh, all that stuff.
All the stuff.
Every single one of it.
That's helpful. That helps me narrow down what I can give you as advice to watch. No, I'm joking with you.
Oh, okay.
Don't watch Don't Look Up.
Oh, yeah.
Don't watch that.
Don't watch that. That wouldn't be.
So that's an example of what we're trying to do. So we're failing, but we're going to keep going.
I did not understand the assignment.
Tell me something you were dealing with right now that you don't want to think about.
That I don't want to think about.
Yes. Oh. Don't make it too personal.
Everything that I see in the news.
News. That's good.
Okay.
News is good. I'm going to help you by coming up with something that will help you, that you can do that will help you not to think about that. So, Robin, tell me again which streaming services you have.
I have the Netflix. I've got Hulu.
The Netflix.
I got Paramount, but I'm only going to keep it for about 3 more weeks. Oh, and I have Amazon Prime.
Okay. That gives me plenty to work with. I'm going to come up with something for you to watch, which Robin will not watch. But I will.
I'm like, you didn't tell me I had homework.
Yeah, I just pulled out a bunch of DVDs and tried to give them to her, and it was like, and I just, never mind. What about this? Never mind. So we just did that. Robin, this is one that you probably won't do, but I'm going to suggest it as a salve for the news. Even though it does have a little bit of news in it, I know you're a fan of musical theater.
Yes, I very much am.
She is. And no, I'm actually changing my answer, what I'm going to do. You did not watch Sarah Bareilles' Waitress yet, did you?
No, I have not.
Okay. So I was going to suggest Wicked as a salve, as something to help you not think about politics, but Wicked actually has some political allegories in it. It's a parallel. It actually is addressing 2 or 3 things we're going through right now. So
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, Wicked's not going to take you away. But you know what will? A great little musical story about a waitress who's pregnant by her husband that's kind of abusive, and she sings about it, makes pies. So I think that's something.
Okay, I might actually watch that because I really, really, really like Sarah Bareilles. I really like her.
And I'm happy for you for liking her. She's one of my... I know Catholics have saints. I don't know what to call my people, but I have my people. Mm-hmm. I usually call them my girls that I love. And they're singers, they're actresses, they're performers. Sarah Bareilles is exceptional. If you were to watch Waitress, you would not think about your everyday problems.
Okay.
I think it'll help. Did you hear that yelling in the background?
I think that was like an applause break. Everyone said, "Waitress, woo!"
Obviously, that's what happened. I do suggest it, and I will let you know that it is on a service you did not name, but it is now available on HBO/Max.
Oh, you just knew that at the top of your head. Look at you.
I do. Well, I kind of pay attention to what my girls are doing and where they are. It just came out about a week ago on HBO Max.
You know what? Let me double check. I might have that. I just got rid of so much stuff, like when we were living elsewhere, and then when we came back, I put some stuff on. So I might have that.
If you do have it, I highly suggest Waitress. So that's what I'm going to suggest you watch to distract you from everyday news. And I'm not going to put any pressure on you to try to distract me with something with entertainment because you won't have an answer. So we're not going to do that.
I'm like, Gators men's basketball is pretty hot these days. But
men's basketball?
No, I only say that because my daughter's in the band, and so I've been paying attention to men and women's basketball, actually.
I do enjoy that you said men's basketball because I think I've mentioned to you, no, I mentioned to someone else recently, I am going to start saying male comedian when I describe a comedian who's a man.
Oh, well, I think basketball's gotten to be so big, especially college, that there is men's and women's basketball. Now, I've seen both.
WNBA is huge.
Yeah, well, even on college level, like I've gone up to watch my daughter, and it's just whatever game she's on. So sometimes it's like she's playing at. Sometimes it's men, sometimes it's women. Did I tell you that Shaquille O'Neal's daughter plays for the Florida Gators, and she's a freshman. She's really good. She's really fun to watch.
Oh my goodness, that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, there, and maybe we could say this for another segment, but the one thing about women's basketball is they're real rough. They like elbow each other and push each other.
Really?
Yeah. I have a niece she's just a junior in high school now, but she wants to go on, and I don't. If I were to watch her play basketball and someone elbow her, Aunt Rara might come out and throw some hands.
Aunt Rara?
Rara.
Aunt Rara? She calls you Aunt Rara?
Not really, but that's what, not really.
I'm trying to back into how you have a niece.
Oh, my stepbrother's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she goes to the same high school I went to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I think she just calls me Robin or Aunt Robin.
Aunt Robin. Aunt Rara.
I have people in my life who call me Aunt Rara.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. I didn't know you had a niece. I don't know. Nice to meet you. My name's Mary Tischbein. What's your name again? Jeez. Oh my God. Well, we did the distract segment, and I'm proud of us. We did that. We're going to try to go to another segment because we're going to try to keep order.
Which we threw in sports and entertainment. That wasn't even supposed to be a thing, but that's okay. It's off the cuff. We're hip. We're like jazz. We go from one thing to another.
Oh, we're like the opposite of jazz. Jazz is pleasant. We're like an EKG of someone who has atrial fib, literally. We're like, where are you going? I don't know. What's that space there? That's fine. I want to thank you for that basketball information. That was really fun. I didn't know that. But I am going to say male comedian because we were called women comedians, and that was annoying because we were comedians. Mm-hmm. Like Elaine Boozler said way back when, you don't say dentista or doctorette. You don't minimize, because when they feminize, they minimize. They lessen. And we knew they were doing it, and that's fine. But now, if you say men's or women's basketball, that sounds like it's a little more equal footing now. The kids are getting it.
Yeah, and I mean, it is. It's both. And I mean, I wish the women's basketball was just as big. But gosh, Caitlin Clark, she kind of put all that to the forefront. And the game I went to see, it was the Gators versus Kentucky. And the Gators basketball, not good as far as the women's. The men's are doing good. Yeah. But the Kentucky women's, oh my gosh, if you guys like women's basketball, watch the Kentucky women's. They put the poor little Gators to shame. But I was like, there are some good people coming from that. There's this one tall blonde, and then at the juxtaposition, they had this like short little brunette girl, and they were just powerhouses.
Wow.
They were just like 3-pointers, and I mean, there was still like shoving and elbowing and stuff, but even as far as like that kind of stuff taken out, like those Kentucky girls, boy, they were good. So it was a fun game to watch.
This is super encouraging that female sports are coming up. I know it's not new. It's just the news is coming around more.
Yeah.
People are seeing it. And also you telling me is a way of me finding out about it because I would not be watching anything even close. Hey, moving on to the next segment. Are you ready, Robin?
I am.
Here we go. The next segment is called Mr. Roboto.
Oh, como arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, sticks. Technology. We're going to talk about technology. And in my notes, I was trying to write AI and I wrote A1.
Which is delicious. Kind of like ketchup, but a little tangier.
It's definitely tangier. Oh my God. I have some in my fridge right now. I love A1 on a steak. Do you?
I don't like it on a steak, but I like it mixed up. Like if I were going to make ribs, I kind of put like a little mixture of A1, barbecue sauce, a little garlic, a little something. And then I put it all over the ribs and have it. But just... like I always feel like I have to dilute A1, but you're like straight to the steak A1.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good
Love
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love steak. I don't need it to cover the steak, but I was also a girl who used ketchup on lots of things growing up. I put it on chicken, eggs, everything.
Okay.
I wasn't a picky eater, but I'm realizing now I sure did disguise my food to make it taste different growing up. Realizing now, even if you could put cheese on everything, that would be helpful too.
Oh, I kind of do, but that's probably not good for you, is it?
No, I don't do it now. I avoid cheese. I avoid it. Yeah, because I know it's not something I need.
It's so delicious.
I'm not
though.
growing.
It's so delicious.
Oh, it's wonderful. I can't have it in the house though because I ate the whole thing. This is not technology.
I was going to say, you know what cheese is not? Technology.
Oh my gosh. So the subtext of the title of the segment, which is Mr. Roboto, is how I learned to stop worrying and love AI.
Another conversation that we had prior to the coming onto the podcast today.
Yeah, we should have recorded in the living room today. We got 3-4 solid episodes with hardly any yelling.
We'd be done by now if we did that.
We wouldn't have all this yelling in the background, this hooting and hollering of these seniors. Like, Madge, put it down. Like, I don't want Madge. Robin, are you afraid of AI?
I am afraid of AI. However, we've been using it a little bit on putting our podcasts out.
Yeah.
And I know you do a lot of editing, and it's actually made things a little bit easier. So the conversation we had is we're kind of going from this to being like, maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah, we're not going to AI to tweak and punch up jokes or a movie script. We're going to AI to help us promote a podcast. So it's a little different. And shout out to Catherine Maloney for the idea.
Well, and it's saving time, and it's able to kind of understand the interesting words and divide it up in clips. So it's I'm not going to say us because this is the one that does it all. It's saving Mary. I always call you this or that one.
That one.
But it saves Mary a lot of time from actual clips, and there's just so much you can choose from. And honestly, some of the clips I wouldn't have even thought like, oh, that's a good clip. But the algorithms and the powers that be in AI kind of liked it. So I feel like maybe I'm to the point of, is it doing stuff for us, or is it helping us improve what we're doing?
That's a good point. I like to think of this software that we're using, which is called Opus Clips. Why don't you sponsor us? They're not gonna. They've got 4 million other podcasts to look at. I like to think of what we're doing right now with AI as akin to DoorDash. Cooking is to DoorDash as editing for me is to using Opus Clips. I like to cook, so I don't use a lot of DoorDash. Mm-hmm. I like to edit, so I didn't want to use Opus Clips. But here's the thing. Sometimes you had a long fucking day and you got to get some dinner delivered and you don't have it in you, and it's going to be delicious and different than what you thought you were going to make.
Yes.
And you don't always know how it came to be that way, but it's delicious and it helped you have energy for the next day. Now, when I edit, which I love to do, to actually go in and find little clips to promote that this is so inside baseball or basketball, women's. This is so inside. When you're editing the podcast and taking out the jug, sometimes you leave it in because it ends up making us laugh, so we leave it in. But having this little tool that goes in and says, here's something, and it's got some stuff in it that people are going to want to see, so put that out. And you know what? It has a really good chance, the odds are in your favor, like Hunger Games, that people are going to actually watch this. And it's worked a couple times.
I was going to say, to its credit, it's actually kind of worked. Our numbers have gone up a little bit. We
doubled. Don't say the real number. We doubled.
We went from to the.
We did. We doubled. We literally. Doubled.
And I mean, if we told you guys the numbers, you'd be like, what?
Yeah. This is definitely not something a normal podcast would do. So here's what we're doing and get you guys to listen. We don't really have an agenda when it comes to what information we're sharing with you guys. We're very transparent when it comes to our comedy and our podcasting and our methods.
And what we had talked about before is there's always a roadblock when it comes to something new. I have people in my life in the 80s who refused to use the microwave.
What?
And to me, that's so I mean, they finally came around to it. Maybe like you and I are finally coming around to AI.
And air fryers.
Yeah, air fryers. Like there's little niches and things that people said, oh, no, that's the line. And then once you went over the line, I mean, not to say it's 100% good. I mean, there's still an argument to be had. But there's also, if it's used as a tool, it can help you. And then it's helping us do what we really like, which is the podcast.
Yeah. And if I may go a little even deeper into a different direction, but in a creative direction, when I was in art school, I really liked the idea of looking at something and drawing it and having it come out the way it looked. And if it was pretty close, I was pretty satisfied. Mm-hmm. But we took a trip at one point to an artist's house. He was projecting a very small picture onto a wall, and he had a canvas on the wall. And then he was going over and just darkening it where the shadows were hitting. And I was like, well, you're not making art. You're literally fucking tracing. And I was so offended by that. And I got offended by people saying, just take a picture. You don't have to paint it and make it realistic looking. And I'm like, no, that's what art is. Because you'll notice that every single picture I did had the same kind of flavor to it, which was my style, ultimately, which I did craft over time. And it was fun. But I'm not a fan of cheating when it comes to creative stuff, but I am a fan of learning new ways to use technology to help you reach a goal, which is for more people to hear us talk about stupid shit, which is what we do. No?
Because the more you listen, the more we blather.
We don't teach. We're not going to help you with your health. Mm-mm. We're not going to make you a better person. You're not going to get more evolved listening to us.
No. I mean, we'll distract you. And, you know, maybe when this whole crazy thing called life gets hit by a meteor, you'll laugh because we're the last things you heard. So
is there a meteor? Because I thought it was an asteroid. So
what's the difference?
Did you take Robin, did you take astronomy in school?
No.
A meteor is a thing that's flying through the air.
And the asteroid's the thing that crashes.
But I want to say an asteroid is like a teeny tiny little planet that has a path that it is on.
Rotation?
Yes, but not just a rotation like on its axis, but it's actually got a path that it follows due to gravity and space and science things. So that's what an asteroid does. And sometimes that thing moves like the moon does. You know, sometimes the moon's not in the same place.
The rotation.
Don't use this for your class when you have a test. Difference between meteorite.
For all you 20-somethings out there, we know you're watching our podcast.
Yeah. An asteroid is a little squiggly line that's coming at the thing in the center, and you're moving the paddles on the video game to pew, pew, to hit him and make him go away. I'm kidding. An asteroid is like a small planet that's got a rotation. A meteor is a piece of rock that fell off of something and it's just shooting straight at you. And when it hits the ground and lands and you look at it on the ground, it is now a meteorite. So that's the difference between meteor and meteorite. Somebody go check me. I think that's right. I'm old. It was a long time ago. What is it? Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch ovaries!